Well, for months now, we've heard from the candidates in the race to replace Mayor Daley. What about what they aren't really saying? What about their body language?
Perry Myers is here joining us, a private detective and an expert when it comes to breaking down body language. Welcome. Good morning to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So you watched the final televised debate, and you've seen these candidates in action. Can you give us a little bit of an overview, Perry? What is it you're seeing in terms of body language?
Well, it was fairly what I expected to see. It was interesting. I thought Emmanuel, being the front runner, was a little more cautious, and he didn't really come out and, if the question didn't suit him, he basically said whatever he wanted to say, and he got a message out there. But he was more cautious and I would say tighter, reserved. Chico, I think he knew everything was on the line. He was out there and slugging away, and he seemed to feel very strong conviction in what he was saying. Braun, she got her message. She was somewhere in between the two, and she also was very. There was a couple times that she was caught, and I think you're going to see that in some of these clips that we're going to.
Yeah, let's roll in a few of the clips. Let's start with Carol Mosley Braun and give us your observations. I mean, you were trained to look at people and how they act and their language of their body. And what sort of observations did you have as you watched her?
Okay. There were a couple of questions, and one in particular where you could see her blinking her eyes, and when I first saw it, I thought it was a strobe light, the way it was blinking so quickly. And that's usually a sign that someone is not ready for the question, a little flustered, and may not know what to say.
What about, let's move on. I think we have another clip. Can we show, do we have Gary Chico we can show you? And he sort of has progressed on this campaign trail. He seems to be on message. What did you read from the body language part of it? I'm sorry, we want to go to Emmanuel next here. Rahm Emanuel, what are you noticing with Rahm's body language?
Well, there was a question pertaining to city processes, and I think of all the candidates, he's the least experienced with the processes. And when they asked that question, I saw he went and he scratched his face twice, which is not a normal scratch. It's a tension sign. So I think he felt tension from that question, or maybe uncomfortable. So that's something I picked up. I call it the two-stroke scratch.
Overall, though, we always hear about this, kind of like the two guys that Rahm Emanuel is. There's sort of this tough guy, deal maker that we know about from his time in the White House and his time in the private sector, and then this calm and collected Rahm Emanuel we've seen on the campaign trail. How do you read that?
Well, I think he was, again, trying to show that nice side of him, and he's the front runner. He does not want to risk anything, and he wants to be very cautious, and he showed that. He was just very tight and controlled, and he delivered everything with kind of scripted.
Okay. So Perry, your final analysis then, you thought that Chico had, in your estimation, was the most comfortable in that forum setting?
He seemed the most comfortable. He seemed like he really wanted to get that message out. There was also a funny time where he wanted to grab the mic away from Braun when she was answering a question that she really shouldn't have even raised her hand for.
Right.
Yeah. So. All right, Perry Myers, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Interesting look at the candidates, huh? Absolutely.